obviously the background looks a little different. We haven't got the podcast background and the Q&A background going just yet. But let's see right here. But we will at some point. I'll probably adjust some things real quick, actually. And we will wait on everybody to join. So there we go. Perfect. Hey, Jess, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Hey, Josh.
Hey, can you hear me all right?
Ooh, can't hear you. Okay.
Let's
Got
see.
it.
Can you
How
hear
are
me now?
you? Yeah, I gotcha.
Perfect. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to go and put in the chat for anyone who wants to participate. Let me pull in the link, and then we'll go and get going. If you guys are watching the replay, you can just fast forward to where we start chatting. Let's see here, people. Copy the link. Chat.
I've been taking your topspin class. It's been good.
Okay, good. How do you feel like it's been going?
It's going well.
Good.
Yeah, I've been cycling through the different segments of the 200 balls with the different motions.
Good. Yeah, I'm planning to have in the next 2 weeks have most of that complete, actually. So probably 2 to 3 months, if not more, content there to follow, and then you can use the Q&A stream. So if you're watching the replay, we're talking about just the lab, the online courses. You can go to pickleball.lab.co to check those out. But and you can just use the Q&A. Just kind of come in and I'll check your course progress and all that good stuff. So let me drop the let's see. I'm actually going to change the link on here.
You're a little staticky on your end.
Okay. Let me look at everything real quick before we go too far here. Test. Okay, sounds good. But you're still hearing me a little staticky?
Nope, you fixed it.
All right, great. All right, let me know if it happens again. All right, I think we're kind of ready to go. Let me go ahead and download what you sent me. And actually, first, before we do that, let me look through your progress on the lab real quick. Share my screen.
Yikes, I didn't study for this test.
Let's see here. All right, go to ball, accuracy. Check you out here. Perfect. All right, great. Do you have a hitting tee?
Yeah, I stole my friend's son's baseball tee.
Excellent. Fantastic. Yeah, you look like you're headed right toward it, what you need to be doing. So it looks really good. We just published the strike zone lesson, which is, pretty far ahead of where you're at. But then we're going to add another strike zone lesson in, and then we're going to start working off of live balls. The hard part, and we'll talk about this in the course, you'll be fine because you're used to hitting live balls at this point, and you already have a little bit of topspin that you hit with naturally. So I think you'll be okay, but most people really struggle to take topspin to a live ball scenario. That's why we start most people off on the hitting tee. Then we have you hit a ball that bounces in place. Then we have people hit a ball that's bouncing toward them. But I don't think that you're going to really struggle with that too much. So what I would tell you, can you see my screen?
Yes.
What I would tell you is that, and that's why, like right now, because of the Q&A, we don't have a ton of people, jumping on. I think this is why the $40 a month option works really well for you. But once we get a lot of people in the Q&A and you need a little bit more like help specifically for, like, let's say we have like 10 people on the Q&A and I can't get to you that day for whatever reason, right? We're going to
Mhm.
prioritize all our members. So our $40 members, $80, 200. But like, what if we have multiple $40 members, and we can't get to you that day? We have a weekly live coaching session just for top spend. And I guess you could sign up for that now if you needed more than an hour each week, where we do the exact same thing we're doing here. We just do it just for top spend. That's it. So I think there's 5 other members on the top spin at the moment. But yeah, I think you're good for right now. Do you have any questions about it?
I mean, only because I'm playing. It's not like I'm just starting out and
Right.
working through the class and then I'm going to start playing. But the idea of using that top spin ball and someone who's sending you that wicked slice, right? And that idea that you need to get underneath that ball, like how?
So you're talking about like on a return or something where they've hit slice, return, backspin. How do
Yeah.
you get under the ball?
Yeah, right. Because in the technique that you have us working on, which was something I had not been doing about that idea of getting like a paddle length under the ball, right?
Yeah.
That low skiddy ball comes at you. Like, what do you do with that? Or do you just not top spin it?
Most returns that have slice are going to have some air under them. That's the problem with slice, is it keeps balls high. So it should bounce up, but if they do hit a lower slice over the net, like 6 inches to a foot over the net, and put some pace on it, if they manage to keep that ball in bounds, that's impressive. And then yes, it will skid. At that point, you are, still, a paddle length under the ball is going to be a little difficult, but it's still manageable. Um, I've never had someone hit a slice return I couldn't get the paddle under, but I did have to get very low. Like I had to get low. And I would drive every single backspin return on the third, because they're giving you a lot of top spin. So that ball is going to be really difficult for them to manage. Number one. Number two, I wouldn't like dropping that is going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely just drive it. I'm not trying to win the point. I'm just trying to get the nasty off of it,
Okay.
and just get a different ball. A lot of people on that one, they're gonna drive it and they're not gonna finish here. They're gonna finish here,
Ah,
like that.
okay.
So that's just on that return though.
Okay.
Yeah, really good question. Any other questions on that?
Mm-mm.
All right, let me download the film you sent. We'll get started. What match is this that we're going to be looking at today?
So we played Miriam and I, who we had played a rec game that you had analyzed,
Yeah.
and then she had asked me to play this little local thing at the local indoor courts, and so we played it on Friday.
Okay.
I have to admit, I the game that I'm sending you is the game that we struggled in,
Good.
um, and I was a little upset with myself after because, I've been working on doing these top spin serves, but I bailed. I bailed on it in this game and
Yeah, of
I
course.
went back to my slice serve.
Yeah, of course. That's very understandable and very common. What was this? We want to move past that, but we're going to be putting like a whole package of videos together on Topspin about encouraging yourself to try it. How does that work? When does that work? That kind of thing. So you're in good company. Um, when or what was the scenario? Is this a league? Was it duper? What
No,
was
it
going
was just a
on?
tournament. It was technically an any age 4.0 women's tournament or women's doubles.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, let me share my screen again, and I'll show you what we're. Man, it's gonna be really exciting when we get all this up and running, because I'm every question people are asking, I'm like, oh yeah, we've already got
We've
that
got
video
that coming.
planned. That's good. Yeah, because I've experienced the same thing, and then all my students have experienced the same thing too. So we'll about right after the cage, this first cage right here, we're gonna put in a lesson. Let's see right here. We're gonna put in a lesson. Actually, let's back up. Before this even gets started, so we just published an introduction that you can go watch. I think everything will probably already make sense to you, but it's worth at least checking out. We'll have another section here, kind of preparing people to get started. One of those things, and I might actually be able to show you. Yeah, so these are the ones that we haven't gone through. We haven't added just yet. You can see all the published ones here.
Oh yeah.
Um, So why is topspin so important? First four balls, when to hit with topspin, when not to, hitting live balls, and then when to start hitting live balls in games/drills. This is going to talk about you can do it whenever you want, but we're not gonna ask you to do it right now. But the people who do it right now will progress much faster. Then we
Yeah.
put in a caveat of the levels of pressure, right? Like you're hitting by yourself, you're hitting with a partner. Now you're playing a game, right? Then you're playing a league or a tournament or something duper related, right?
Mhm.
The more you can progress through those and have the guts to keep trying it, the better off you are. But right here, right now, we're not going to ask you to do it in any of them. But again, you'll progress much faster if you do. Then we move down to about right here on serving. And then we say, all right, we told you in the beginning, you don't have to start doing it, but now you got to start. You do have to. This is where we're going to start forcing you to start serving with topspin at least. Okay. And
Okay.
so this is after you've done windshield wiper, paddle finish, neutral stance, and then the cage. I mean, you've got a long time before like we're going to insist that you do it at least on one shot,
Okay.
right? Which is the serve. So I think you're in really good company. You're in really good company. I wouldn't be too concerned about it. Further down, probably about right here somewhere after live ball, we'll start insisting that people try it in pretty much all their rec games, and we'll talk about the mentality behind that on how to like just keep trying things.
Mhm.
And then closer to the end, that's when we're like, hey, you've got to start doing this in leagues and tournaments. But
Okay.
until then, you're in really, really good company. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, in rec play, I've been willing to do it because I'm just like,
Love it.
it's rec play, right?
Yeah,
And then watching the video, because I went through and I watched the video, and I'm like, oh, those serves are shorter than what I want, and I know
sure.
when I got my topspin serve going, I can get it deeper. So anyway,
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
little like feeling of kick in the pants.
yeah. I mean, it's hard. Like, you're like immediately trying to graduate to, all right, I'm gonna do it in everything, right? Like, I
Yeah.
played the PPA in like February, and I bailed on a lot of my stuff that I normally hit. Right? It's just a constant progress of like, all right, I'm not gonna bail. Maybe I didn't bail on this shot, but I did on this other shot. That's okay. At least I didn't bail on the first one.
Yeah.
Right? And so you're just going to get better and better at it till it's more natural. Because now what's happening for me is I'm doing it pretty much in everything. I haven't played a tournament in like 2 or 3 months, so I'd have to kind of check in. But like in rec play, and then I guess I would say like rec play and then group play, where like private group play, where
Mhm.
like it's a little bit different, right? I'm doing everything in private group play.
Well, that's
Like
great.
so, the next step is to just do it all in tournament play. And there's some wisdom on like you just practiced a shot for the first time yesterday. Maybe don't try that in the tournament or the league, right?
Mhm.
But like a week, 2 weeks, like eventually you'll get there.
Yeah. Okay.
Sound good?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, let's open up your. I was gonna fix the lighting in here because it's really, really harsh. But I think I'm just gonna let it go for right now. We'll have I'll have my setup. We just moved to Arizona, so I'm actually a lot closer to you now. But
Congratulations.
yeah, but
You don't
we
have your fancy setup with the neon and the paddles
exactly,
yet.
exactly, yeah. So I just got my desk set up today, so then we'll have to set up the rest later. But yeah, so let's go and do this. Entire
You can't hear my dog
screen.
barking, can you?
A little, but it's like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 2. It's not distracting at all, so we're
Okay,
good.
I can always turn my microphone off when we get going if you want.
No, I don't think so. I think you're
Do
good.
you want background on these
All
ladies
right.
that we played against?
Yeah, please. Anything that you're willing to say about them publicly, at least. They were jerks. The one right
No,
here, you can check her out on Instagram. She hooked me constantly. All that good
no, they
stuff.
were super nice. Damn them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Super nice, but former
Yeah.
D1 tennis players.
Oh, geez. Just started playing pickleball or what?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. We'll see how it goes. Um, it's just really hard, like D1 or any type of tennis background. They just have the ground stroke that you and I are working on with topspin. They just have probably over 100,000 reps in it. You know,
Yeah.
if they get around 500 reps of practice and they've practiced 100 times, what is that? That's
A lot.
50,000 if my math is correct. And you know they've practiced more than 100 times. You know, it's like 2, 3, 400, or, you know, I don't know how many times, but that's tough. That's really tough because they can just control the ball. And the
Yep.
more and more I think about it, the more and more um, it's volleys too. Like if you know how to hit a good ground stroke, you can hit a good volley as well. So, all right, let's get going. Anything before we get started?
Nope.
Okay, let's do it. All right, our first rally here. Let's go. Oh, not a bad return. Oh yeah, immediately top spin drop. Golly, really good. All right. So, and this was in a what?
You want the rating? It was a
Yeah, this was in a 4-0.
yeah.
How long
Well,
have they been?
I don't. Do you find the dupers accurate?
No, not necessarily. It really depends, like on how much they've been playing.
Well, the one's duper was like a 4-4, and the other one was a 4-6.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. How long have they been playing pickleball? Did they say
Not very long.
months or like a year or 2 years?
I want to say months.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's like a 5-0 level drop there. Notice how she drops on the right side of her head
Yeah.
and not on the left.
Yeah.
So that's when you just need a ton of topspin. She drops it like almost right in the kitchen. It's a little. All right, I'm just gonna stop. There's a lot going on there. I'm just gonna stop. We'll make it through the rally and then we'll figure it out from there. Okay. Oh, that's right. We did make it through the rally. Okay. So nothing wrong with this return. I mean, we're picking here, but you know, she starts behind the baseline. Like that's great starting position for you guys. Effectively, they lost the serve because you guys neutralized it with your return and made her start her third way back. That's what we want. So that's really good. The only thing I can say there is that yeah, that's just a really good drop. There's not much to do there. You maximize pressure here too, because I mean you hit her in the feet, right? Almost. So that's pretty good. If anything, a little bit further toward her feet line and in the middle. So
Okay.
you know, right about right here, you know, or right here, or right here. It's gonna be really hard to come over here though, because of the way you're set up.
Yeah.
Because you've got your shoulders, you know, pointing this way. So it'd be really hard to go this direction. But anyways, yeah, but that's a good ball too. And then she hits another top spin drop. Great, concede. There's nothing you can do with that. You contact like she hit a ball that made you contact below the net. You have no other option there but to concede, right? You concede the kitchen, good, and you don't give it right to her, right? Like you push her outside. That's really good because she almost makes a mistake here. But she lands one in. It's really good. And just a pop up. That's all it is. And then that's not your ball. This is your partner's ball.
Yeah. I think we both
Um,
thought it was going out, but she had so much topspin on it, it just landed right in the court.
yeah, she pushed it. So notice, since you're doing topspin, notice how she hits but doesn't immediately come right in front of her face like this. She hits and pushes out in front of her. So that's going to see how she pushes out in front.
Yeah,
See how
yeah.
extended her elbow is instead of having it here, right? That's what caused it almost to go out of bounds. It's got to
Ah,
be a quick little brush. Yeah, that was very close. But yeah, that's where your partner's going to step in right there and close that middle. You guys have a relatively open middle. And yeah, I think tell me your partner's name again.
Miriam
Miriam, with an I, Miriam,
with an A.
but Miriam. So it does look like she was like, "Oh, that ball's out," which is really good because she pulls back, and
Yeah.
I think that's a really good. Like after that, when she's like, "Oh man, I should have hit that," if that's what she said or whatever, I'd be like, "Nah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
you were an inch away from that ball being out of bounds." So that's a good call. It's just
yeah,
sometimes the ball goes in, you know.
yeah. We both thought it was going out, so then we were like, oh no,
Yeah.
that went in.
Serve, return, good. Yep. Top spin drop. Yep. All right. So work on getting that two-handed backhand at some point. I don't mind this, but remember when you hit, don't wait. So you hit and then kind of pause just a little bit and then get started. So just like you got to hit that thing and run all the way up. And the tough part about hitting a slice return, since we talked about that, with people like this, is they use all that top spin against you. So that's a tough ball. Um, so just got to concede it. Just got to get better at conceding because at this point you want to get her at her feet, right? Well, her feet are at the kitchen, so you have to just bounce that ball at the kitchen. That ball is going to probably bounce somewhere out here, right? If she had let it bounce, and so that's why the ball's high.
Yeah.
She just
It
got to
also
concede
clipped the
that a little
net
bit.
coming at me.
What's that?
It clipped the net coming at me.
Oh, it did. Yeah, it did. Yeah, those are hard to handle. But I do want Miriam to kind of stick. She backs off here. Do you notice how she's like in the middle? She's in good position, but then
Yeah.
she just slides to the side a little bit. She needs to stay right there.
Okay.
So that ball doesn't go through the middle, and to keep you guys, this is a higher level move to keep you guys from clashing right there. Since you're on forehand, she needs to wrap behind you. So I'll use these people as an example, these ladies. So this is you in this situation,
Yeah.
and this is Miriam. Miriam needs to wrap right here and stay where she is. So I guess the drawing would be more like wrap right here, so that you still have dominance of the forehand here. And if it goes through, she's behind you and isn't crowding you, but can still pick the ball up.
Okay. So in the
But that's a
foot
higher level move.
in the footwork of the wrap, is she still parallel to the line but
Yes.
further back?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Yep.
not
So
not like feet at an angle.
no,
Okay.
no, yeah. So she would be if we could cut this girl out right here
Yeah.
and just move her back.
Okay.
And so I guess it wouldn't be a wrap. The idea with the wrap is that she's overlapping your coverage
Okay.
behind you. So yeah, less of a wrap probably, and more just like come straight back. I can't draw a straight line, so I'll do this. Just come straight back, probably about right here. It's probably just 2 feet off the line, just enough, and probably more like this, just enough so you don't feel like you're crowded. And if
Okay.
you need to come get this ball in here, you can.
Okay.
And you're not clashing paddles or both going like feeling each other's presence and being like, oh, you go, no, you go,
Right, right.
that kind of thing. All right, next rally. Good. So let's see, what kind of return was that? All right, so Miriam puts a ton of backspin on that, and
Hmm.
then she tries to, which would be topspin for their team, and then she tries to counter topspin, the topspin for her with backspin. It's kind of a tough shot, so that's why that went in the net. Golly, what if? Yeah, jeez. Okay. So this is actually really good. This is a good film session here because you're going to see what you're going to need to look like at some point. So she rockets that return back, right? Like let's watch it in real time. So wham, that's a pretty big return. And so the speed means less time for your footwork to get in the right spot, right? The speed also means your typical drop that you would hit, you have to take some off of it because you have to adjust for the extra mph, the miles per hour that's coming to you. Because if you hit with your normal power, you're going to hit over, right?
Yeah.
So you have to adjust a little bit. And yeah, it just makes it really difficult when someone hits a good return. So that's why Miriam popped this ball up. That ball, ooh, she got to the corner though, and
Oh
this
yeah,
girl almost missed it. Um, but that's why Miriam missed this drop when normally she might not have. Is just because of that return. So what does Miriam do in this situation? How does she affect this girl's return since this girl's return was so good?
Just gotta get deeper.
It's got to be through the serve, and she's got to hit harder and deeper, for sure. Let's see how this girl sets up. Yeah, paddle down, just typical tennis. So we're going to be teaching you more of the modern forehand. So Yannick Sinner, the #1 player in the world in tennis, he uses this forehand. Everyone's teaching this forehand, it seems like now. And then a lot of pickleball players are starting to pick it up. So I just want to point it out to you. Notice how her paddle goes down to the floor, or at least points at the floor, right? So now it's pointing kind of at the floor, her hitting face, but watch her hitting face. It points down to the floor now. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So now that's what they used to teach. Is called you pat the dog. You're patting the dog. But Yannick has started to move more from here to here, hitting face to the wall. And so that's what we're going to be teaching you guys instead of pat the dog.
So this way?
Let me see. Let me pull you up real quick.
Like
Hold on. Yep.
comes around
Yep.
this. Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's going to be, there's a couple of ways to do it. One, this is the way Yannick does it, but I think it's really hard for people to do. So he gets here and then literally just flips his wrist and hits. Just flip. That's really tough. What most people do in the beginner stage is to have it here and then rotate like this and then hit. That's pretty natural for most people. The other one you can do, which is more of like what Zane Ford does, who plays pickleball, is he gets here and he comes under. So he gets here, pow. So you've got Yannick, who just twists and hits. Then you've got Zane and a lot of other players who just kind of come under. And then you've got Andre Diescu, who's here and rotates his arm like this. Andre is number 6 in the world in doubles now, or maybe number 4. I can't remember. But he hits like that. And these are all tennis players that are playing pickleball.
Mm-hmm.
So they know how to control the ball. A lot of pickleball players don't. They don't know what they're doing when they hit balls. They're doing what feels right instead of really focusing on how the form should be. And you'll see that change in pickleball in the next 5 to 10 years. They'll be teaching, hey, you got to have a good stroke. If you don't have a good stroke, none of this matters. So,
So in the topspin class I'm taking, is that going to be a part of it? Ah,
yep.
Cool. Okay.
Yep. So you go windshield wiper, paddle finish, which is really just your follow through. Then we go to neutral stance, which is your initial footwork pattern. You need to learn how to hit your typical footwork pattern. Then we go to the cage, and the cage, I don't have a great name for it, so I just named it the cage, but it's this right here. And
Okay.
then you kind of attach your arm as well, which that's the second lesson in the cage. I think we're going to move that further down. It's a little bit more advanced and unnecessary. But you get here and you kind of form what I call the cage. So you've got like a cage around your body, right? But yeah, that's it for right now.
Cool.
Any questions on that?
Nope.
Cool. Yeah, and then it's a high ball, and then she's able to finish with top spin and take a corner. So like, let's actually go through these first 3 rallies, and let's just talk about what you wouldn't have seen normally that you're seeing now, and why that's resulted in, what is it, 2-0, right? And like short rallies.
Yeah.
So typical serve, I think. Oh shoot, we're at the wrong spot. Here we go.
There you go.
Typical serve, okay? Atypical drop. You're not going to see a lot of topspin drops. Topspin drops are very offensive. So when you hit, they're coming faster and they're going to dip. So a lot of people, when they hit backspin drops, and we teach all 3 in the lab, they all 3 have their own purpose. But pancake back backspin and topspin. But topspin is what more the pro level is going to, so that they feel comfortable hitting the two more defensive types that just the ball lands in and allows you to move up. Now they're getting to, all right, I want more offense. So that ball is dipping on you, and it changes the trajectory. Like it's like a curveball in baseball. Like it's harder to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's coming at you faster. And so then it causes more pop-ups. So that is, and that's why, I mean, that's another topspin drop. They get to the kitchen pretty easily there. And then there is no counter here. Typically someone, you know, at the 4-0 level, they're going to not hit this with topspin, which means they would have hit this ball out of bounds, right? Her topspin keeps this ball in. And they're not going to hit this hard. It's a pretty hard shot. And be able to keep it in and directionally. Like she went through the middle. If she'd hit that ball right at you, you probably would have got a paddle on it, right? So
Yeah.
just a couple of different things that you're seeing there that make it a little bit more difficult, which I wish someone had been able to point out to me when I was playing so I could start mirroring those things.
Yeah.
So here, another topspin drop gets right to the net, and that's hard for you to handle, right? And a lot of people don't know to come up. So like, let's say they don't come up on this ball here, if they're back here, this is not a winner. They're just going to reset this ball, because this ball that you hit is actually going to bounce like probably right here. So they're just going to reset it. That's very defensive, right? This girl knows to be aggressive on that topspin drop and move up and then take advantage of that ball. And again, Miriam's ready for it this time, even though she backs up a little bit and she has her paddle out there. Well, she was ready for the last one, but the last one was high. So she's ready for this. If this girl misses any to the right, you're going to grab that ball. Any to the left, Miriam's going to grab that ball. So it's just accuracy at that point, right? And then here she dumps that into the net. And like they just hit four really good topspin drops in a row. They hit a third and a fifth that went in. They hit so they hit 3, and then hit a third that went in. Most people are going to miss those. So those are they're also like hitting so far consistent shots. So that's why it's 2-0 so far. Most people aren't going to hit this either at this level. So she's going to reach and take an angle. Most people they can try and hit that. They're going to hit it out of bounds 100% or in the net. And this girl like threads the needle. And it's just topspin. It's just
Well,
topspin.
so when we were trying to figure out who to send their third shot to, we were watching them play, and Black Hat was ripping these third shot drives with all that topspin. So we're like, all right, well, let's go to Green Shorts, because at least she's willing to drop it into the kitchen. I mean, albeit with phenomenal topspin on it, but she's at least willing to put the ball in the kitchen versus ripping a drive between us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'd say until like a 5-0, 5-5 level, I'd probably hit the dropper instead of the person who hits drives. Probably around 5-0, 5-5, you can start countering those really hard and make people who have poor drives pay. But until that level, it's a difficult skill. Like countering a good third shot or a hard third shot drive is just a difficult skill. So yeah, I think I would have done the same thing. I think that was a good idea. Yeah, typical tennis play. Yeah, great. Oh yeah. Yeah, those are good balls. Great balls. All right, let's go back and watch this. So you said you bailed on topspin. Do you consider this bailing on topspin?
Yeah, that was more of my slice serve.
Okay. It has topspin on it. Has a lot of topspin. It'd be hard for you to slice serve. You'd have to come from, see how you come from low to high? Anytime you hit that, that's topspin. In order to slice, you'd have to come from high to low, believe it or not. So that's topspin for sure. And you set up a really good third. Great ball. Yeah, good. You're in good position. When the ball's that short, again, higher level concept, but when the ball's that short and you're going to start that far in, if I were you, I love how you're watching her ball here. I'd get even closer, but you got close enough, right, for this ball that she hit. So you're up here. Yep, ball above the waist, hard ball. Another hard ball above the waist. Keep going. Another hard ball above the waist. Good shot. Okay, so here with topspin, eventually you're that one still has topspin, but we're gonna hit even more topspin, so it like just dives on her.
Yeah.
Another top. That one has topspin on it too. It looks like based on your swing. Okay,
Well, apparently there's some
so
muscle memory from this T work.
let's go. Yeah, because you pull your wrist over. So anytime you like, we want to avoid doing this, but there are shots where we are going to do that, and you're in one of them right now. So this ball couldn't have been much better unless it was lower.
Okay.
And so the better you get at this, I need to write a note because we're gonna do. One second. We need to put topspin volleys in there as well. And we're going to do topspin volleys in the course. We're going to do topspin volleys, forehand / backhand. Yeah. Backhand's really just a flick when you're volleying. But I was drilling with a guy today, and he was like, how do you hit your backhand? And it took when we're volleying, and it took me a really long time to kind of figure it out. But all I do is flick. Like, it's just this right here. That's it. And I was trying to put topspin on it. It's more like this. So I'm just trying to put topspin on it the whole time. And it's such a short motion. But yeah, so the only difference here is, or the only thing I'd like to see more is just a lower ball over the net. But as you get better and better at topspin, we'll have you doing this 4x4 volley drill more than likely. And then you'll just keep getting those lower and lower. But like you got the ball you wanted back. Like you got another high ball. And so this one, we're going to forehand. She hits it back. We're going to forehand. We're going to grab the paddle with 2 hands. So when she hits this, we're still hitting back. We're still hitting topspin. We're going to slide and hit topspin. That's it. But I think you did really good there. You just gave her a high ball. Luckily it went in the net. And the reason you gave her a high ball is when we're hitting forehands, our paddle's closed. When we hit backhands this way, the paddle's open, right? It'd have to be here to get closed. Okay. And so you just didn't close it up. That's the only reason the ball went high. But it worked out. Any questions on that?
No. Yeah. That's good.
Next rally. Good job.
We got a point.
Yeah. Good. It's just a missed third. That's all. They didn't do anything special. She had slice it, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to have to aim a little higher. And so you'll just have to get a bunch of reps. So anytime you see someone slice the ball, so watch her go from high to low. High, ball's high, or paddle's high, and then low. That's slice. Anytime someone does this to you in a game, you need to be thinking, great, I'm going to drive this ball and just learn. And so if she hadn't sliced this ball, because it's backspin to her, but it's top spin to you when they slice, because the ball's traveling like this. And yeah, anyways, I think you understand that. So it's going to be top spin for you. So when you hit your top spin, it's going to dive lower than normal, which means you're going to have to open your paddle face up more to actually get it over. And I think if Miriam had hit that ball, she hits in the middle of the net. I think she probably, even if it didn't have top spin, I think that shot's going in the middle of the net, or going in the net. It's just be higher. But that's one thing to think about. But that's how you start switching your mindset from playing to play and hoping you get better to playing to play and actually improving. Is you see a ball come in rec play or even in private play, and you're like, I want to win this point. I want to win this match. I got to get this ball over. That's not really the mentality we want. What we want is, oh, great, I don't get a lot of these balls, so I'm going to learn off of this, and I'm going to try something different. I'm going to open my paddle face up a little bit. It goes high out of bounds. Great. Let me close it up the next time. So that's kind of the mentality we want. Any questions on that?
No.
All right, next rally. Serve, good serve. Ooh, pretty good return. Oh, my goodness. She paid her back. Miriam paid her back on that one. That's the ball that she hit earlier.
Yeah.
So that's really good. So actually, your power here, I really like your power. It's just short. That's it. Big ball here. I mean, look at this top spin. Watch Miriam go low to high. Low, high, and then got her. I think this girl.
Well, she
So the girl's
came
not stopped.
flying into the middle.
Yeah, she's not stopped. So she can fly as much as she wants, but she has to be stopped at contact. Otherwise, this will happen. So when she gets stopped right here, the ball's already halfway to her. She's beat. That's it.
Yeah.
So you gotta be stopped at contact, and don't cheat. Don't try and take more ground. That's a fantastic shot. Really good shot. Little high serve, not bad. Another golly, that's pretty good. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Let's go. All right, great shot. All right, so gives a little bit of an advantageous return here. She starts inside, right? So probably want to be a little bit more aggressive with that. There's nothing you can do about this ball. You have to concede this ball.
Mhm.
Watch them fly in, right?
Mhm.
So when the ball gets to them, look where their feet are. That's where the ball has to go. Miriam concedes right at their feet. Great. That's the difference between this ball and then the other one earlier where they went through the middle a couple of times, right?
Mhm.
So the ball was just too high. This ball's perfect. All right. She leaves this ball high, and then we go to the side. And so by conceding here, not only did you not give them a ball, but you gave them an opportunity to make a mistake and give you a ball.
Mhm.
And so that was perfect. Great top spin. Really good ball. And then a put away. Really good. Really good. Next rally. Serve. Return. Tons of backspin. Good. Good. All right. So tons of backspin here. So Miriam adjusts, and that's good. And she just hits it high this time. That's okay. She kind of taps it. We don't want to tap it, and that's so typical for like when you see slice coming and you don't really know how to play against it.
Mhm.
It's just let me just tap it because I don't want it to go too far. But what happens is you actually end up hitting it high, right? Good ball. Way to get it back. Just got to get it lower. That's it. It's just a reset, and you'll get better at those. Another ball, and then into the net. Yeah, you'll get better at those. But it all starts on the third, right? Like the third is what made that get out of control.
Mhm.
Good serve. Return. Short return. Yes, start in. Good. That's such a good play. Tough ball. Okay. Really good here. Love that you came in because it is a short return. She's hitting a lot of short returns. So when I'm noticing that, I'm like, all right, before each time I'm thinking this might be a ball when she hits her return that I need to move in on, and you do. Really good. And once you stopped, you're almost stopped in time. So that's good. And so you got an opportunity here. She was able to get it at the feet. The drive's a little high, right? But she's able to get it at your feet. And then what do? You reset. And you guys made it to the kitchen. Like the number one goal is for us to make it to the kitchen. We'll win the point at some point, but that's like our number one goal, right? So
Yeah.
that's really good. That's really good. That part's really good. Because if you don't win the point, at least you got to the kitchen. 9 times out of 10, team that gets to the kitchen the most is going to win. Really tough ball here, and I understand. So Miriam would really benefit from practicing against backspin. That one probably skidded on her, I'm going to guess, and got into her faster than she was expecting. Also, let's see, could she have taken that out of the air? Yeah, she could have taken that out of the air. So we want to crowd the line a little bit. The women's game's a little different. They play off of the line a decent amount. But I would either she's right on the line. So if we're going to be on the line, we got to take these balls out of the air so they don't get to our feet. The feet's the most vulnerable spot in pickleball, right? And so I would say people all the way up to 5055. Probably not 55, but all the way up to 50. They're not guarding their feet and taking balls out of the air. But she could have taken that ball out of the air and it wouldn't have got to her feet. That's probably the best idea. Any questions on that?
Mm-mm.
All right, next rally, serve return. Drop, good. A little harder on that one. Oh, I'll let it go. Good. All right. So a lot of people just don't think about transition defense. You guys are on transition defense because you're on serve side, right? So this ball right here, this is a ball where she probably needed to slide and take that on her forehand. It got right kind of into her chicken wing, and so she slid to her backhand. But the backhand shot just wasn't very powerful. Like, let's watch it in real time. So, boop. And that's an easy ball for this girl to pick up, right?
Mhm.
Does she pick it up? Yeah. Top spin, drop right in. So that was an opportunity. We need to take that opportunity, right? Okay. Then a little bit of a high ball. Let's see. Can she take that out of the air? No, I couldn't take that one out of the air. Just got to learn how to concede. That'd be really good for you guys to just practice those concession balls where someone's hit a
Okay.
really good drop and you don't want to concede too early, right? So on a third shot drop, I'll try and find a spot here in a second. If they've only moved up halfway, don't concede into the kitchen. You're still trying to attack them in the middle of the transition zone. You're getting it at their feet. Once they hit that fifth shot drop and they make it to the kitchen line, you got to concede. The way to really look at it is just keep putting it at their feet. Like just keep putting the ball at their feet no matter where they're at. Okay. So here, put the ball at the feet. We're about 10 feet short.
Hmm.
Or what is that? So, yeah, 10 feet short. All right. Now we put the ball at the feet. If we put the ball at the feet, that's a concede. And that's what we have to do here, right? The ball's just high. She puts it away. Out of bounds anyway. Any questions on that?
No.
Do you know why she puts this ball out of bounds?
I mean, her paddle face is wide open.
Wide open. Because it's the backhand.
Yeah.
Because
Which
if we're
I
in
was
content.
surprised she didn't. Because when we were dinking with her, she kept slicing
Mm-hmm.
her shots. I thought for sure she was gonna whip out at some point some crazy two-handed backhand with topspin.
Doesn't
But
look
more
like
times
it.
than not, she did a one-handed shot.
Yeah, there's a couple of shots here that you would hit a two-handed backhand on, and she's not doing it. So this one right here would be a
Because
perfect spot to hit a
at
two-handed
first I was
backhand.
anticipating that she was coming line on me,
Mm-hmm.
but then
Yeah,
she
yeah,
just totally kept it open. So I was like, all right.
yeah. And so when trying to read balls, the thing that we want to think about is when a ball is at a certain spot, start remembering where that ball went. Okay. I would expect her to go line too, because that's the easiest shot for her to hit because she's so extended. She can try and go through the middle. That's going to be a harder shot that she's more than likely going to sail out of bounds or in the net. And so, sure enough, she sails it out of bounds. So, when I see that and I'm trying to remember patterns, I don't want to look at that and go, oh my gosh, she went through the middle. People can go through the middle on me there. I want to go, no, she hit the ball out of bounds because that was the hardest spot.
Okay.
And so, it's important not to get fooled by that stuff because I used to be like, how did she go through the middle? She didn't. She went through the middle and hit the ball out of bounds. Anyone can go through the middle and hit the ball out of bounds. When you're this extended, they are likely going down the line. So if I were you and I'm like, oh, I thought she was going to go down the line. Why didn't she? Can you go through the middle? No, you can't. Look, she went out of bounds because she went through the middle, right? So you had the right idea. Anything that's extended, it's typically going straight ahead.
Yeah.
Anytime we start getting more in, so like watch my hands if you can. Anything super extended, let me try and back up. Out here is going straight ahead. As we come more toward the middle, watch my hands. They start to crisscross, right? So we get here. And then the natural shot for someone inside here on their chicken wing, on their backhand, is going this way. The natural shot here on the inside of their chicken wing, forehand, is going this way. But as you get out side of that, it starts to flatten out. So she's so wide that, yeah, in order to hit a good one, she would need to go side, but she didn't. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, if you watch my footwork, I'm already anticipating the line shot. And then when she goes that way, my legs are still moving towards the sideline as I.
Yeah, yeah. That's typical. That's how I would have played that though. I would have, and I need to get better at this. But if someone goes across court on you, especially when you're a right side players try to close out the line because your chicken wing is on the sideline. So if you can get to the sideline, then they can't get to your chicken wing or they're going to hit the ball out of bounds.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why you would slide to the sideline. Left side players don't slide to the sideline because their chicken wing's still in the middle. They can still get the chicken wing. So you're going to have to play forehand, backhand there. They have those options. You can sit backhand if you're a right side player. So you did the right thing. The problem becomes, and when I play right side, I forget to do it, is that if my partner dinks or whatever and goes across court like that, you have to remember if they put something high, I've got to close that sideline super fast.
Mhm.
And she did, and we left the sideline open here, which is very normal. That's like a 5-5 level move, but at least you know it now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, let's keep going. Any questions on that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you did really good there. Serve, neck rally, serve, return. What the freak, man? She's hitting all of these.
She's very consistent. Her partner ended up hitting more, and I was like, oh, maybe we should have challenged her more.
Yeah. She wasn't ready for that. Really good. Okay. So let's talk about, just because we get away with stuff in pickleball doesn't mean it was the right play, right? So let's talk about what the right play was, right? So here, that ball's coming in. Let's see, did we get at the feet? We got at the feet. That's perfect. Really well done. Okay, here, let's see. I would not have sped this ball up. The ball going over the net isn't that high. And we're kind of out of position, leaving the middle open. But it surprised her, and she wasn't ready for it, so it worked out. Also, kind of got her in a really vulnerable spot for this girl because she's so low. Like when she look how low she gets.
Yeah.
So where someone else might kind of stand up and hit down like this, she's so low that she's got to hit this, and that's a pretty tough shot. Worked out. Any questions on that?
Mm-mm.
And it might be kind of hard to dink with these girls because dinking is mini ground strokes. There's many,
Yeah.
and so like if they're good at tennis, they're probably good at those. So that would be kind of tough. So maybe the strategy there should have been to speed up on them, because a lot of tennis players, especially if they played singles mostly, they don't know how to volley really very well because you don't volley a lot in singles tennis. Serve, return, next rally, good, little high again. Gonna lob them until somebody does something. Okay, cool. All right, let's go back here. All right, so serve, great serve, good return, freaking A. So just have to recognize this return a little earlier. Again, 5-0 level concept, 4-5-ish. We need to recognize the ball about here. Okay, so this, recognize the ball at their kitchen line, pro level. Okay, recognize the ball at the net, 5-0, 5-5 or so, right? Recognize the ball here. I'd say most 4-5 to 4-5 and lower recognizes the ball here. So for you, let's see where you start to recognize it and start to back up. You start to back up right here. I actually can't tell because of the angle. I would say that's probably over the net right there. And then you start to recognize it about at the pink line, I would say. So then you're not in a good spot. You have to actually take it before it apexes, right? And you're jammed up, which is what causes that.
Mm-hmm.
So you recognize it on that green line. You're going to be behind you're going to move behind the baseline at that point, and that's going to be an easier drop for you instead of getting jammed up, right? So that's how you prevent that third from happening. I also probably wouldn't have dropped that. I would have drove it because it's so deep. Hitting a third shot drop from like 5 feet behind the baseline is not ideal. So those are just some thoughts. Again, I'm mostly focused on you hitting topspin right now, so we're not worried about this. But that, I'm surprised she didn't get a better shot on that. She must not like her backhand very much because she moved in and like really got to her forehand, which makes sense for a lot of tennis players. So here we just need to reset into the kitchen, right? This ball is probably going to land all the way at the baseline. And I think what Miriam was trying to do is lob.
Yeah.
And I think probably in a lot of women's games, I don't mean to be rude, but older women's games, this is probably a good idea because they're not going to move back to get an overhead. And even if they are able to get an overhead, they're not going to be able to put it away with power. These girls are younger and they are able. I think that was a kitchen fault, actually, which is a little sneaky thing that most people don't know. A lot of people, they step forward like that, step on the kitchen line to back up and hit their overhead. And she has to reestablish connection with the court outside of the kitchen line with her left foot, which she does not do. So if you ever lob someone, and I guess you could kind of do this in tournaments, someone will be like, I'm going to lob them. Be like, okay. And then just have the other person not lobbing, watch their feet. But that left foot's on the kitchen line there, and she has to reestablish that. So that was a violation. You guys would have won that point, but obviously it's hard to do that. But like they just keep hitting overheads, and I probably would have stayed away from the lobs. And you probably just tried it to find out, and now you know,
And now we know.
right?
Yeah.
Now you know. All right, next rally. Serve, return. Really short returns. She keeps hitting short returns. Dang. That's another driving crash for you guys where you won that point earlier that I would really want to see there. I want Miriam to get to the side and drive that ball. All right, so we lob again. Bam. Oh my gosh, got that back. That's good. Good. Oh, so close. And then, yeah, just missed it. I don't hate it. As your coach, there's a limit, a lifespan limit to lobbing, right? Like eventually you're going to be playing like extremely athletic people at higher levels where it's not going to work. But for right now, it's all right. All right, next rally. Not bad. Serve. Good serve. Good return. Decent return there. Good. Good. Right at the feet. That's so good. All right, so here, a little short, but still gets a ball. Oh, she got that in kitchen. This is a great shot by Miriam. I mean, look how high that ball goes over the net. Just barely gets over. It's really good. Right at the feet. Really nice. Really nice. All right. Well, we're going to end on that one. That was really good.
Good one.
Yeah. Do we want to say what happened here? Or do we want to save this for next time?
Oh, so this video that I sent you is just the first half of the game before we did the flip.
Okay.
Not much to see after we did the flip. The best action was in the first the first
All right,
part.
cool. All right,
Yeah.
well, let's remember where we're at, and we'll pick it back up next week.
All right, sounds good.
All right, deal. Let's see here. Yeah, I think the biggest thing here, honestly, is just realizing they're hitting a lot of topspin drops and getting in, which means you guys are going to have to be a little bit more precise on your defense on hitting the feet. Like you're really going to have to hit the feet to not give them pop-ups and stuff like that. Their defense, their returns. So at this point, I would say, all right, maybe we take a step off the line. Like typically you want to be right on the line after you serve. Maybe let's take a step off so when they're hitting deep returns, we're not getting jammed up. Okay. You also have that option as well. But yeah, we'll see what there is to see next week. Are you going to be able to get some of that top spin work in between now and then?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Perfect.
will. I think the other thing too is that we don't have, at least with the people that we play, shots like we saw against these ladies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So it's also practicing against it. It's like, okay, well, we got to find some women that hit these shots.
Yeah. Drill with each other and mimic their shots. So far their shots are pretty decent, but you see this girl in the greens top spin drop. I would just watch her top spin drop. I had a buddy of mine who was like, you know, I hit natural tennis shots without having played tennis because I just watch a bunch of tennis and it just makes sense to me to swing the way they're swinging. So if you just watch people swing and just try and ingrain it, like I even like watch how people swing and then like visualize it at night as I'm falling asleep, and then my body tells me to swing that way. So like if you just watch her swing, that's how you should top spin drop. She's doing it mechanically extremely well. So yeah. All right. Well, great work. We'll see you next week. Guys that are watching the replay, make sure that you join live. You can do that 3 ways. One, you can go to the lab at pickleball.lab.co. There's 4 memberships. One of them's free. You can sign up for the free membership and join free. And you can come in here and you can chat with us. You can chat about the film. You can ask any questions. We'll answer them. The second way is actually to join live like Jess is doing. And we have a link where you can click and just come in and ask questions live. It's a lot easier to reply to live feedback. And then the third way is for you guys to drop some film like Jess did as well. And we'll actually go through your film every single week. So yeah, please come get involved at pickleball.lab.co. With that being said, we will see you next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Thanks, everybody. Awesome. Great work. I got to jump to our 2:0 to 3:0 live coaching session today. But any other questions before I go?
Nope. Have fun, and thank you for
All
all
right.
your help. It's been really beneficial.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. And then if you have any feedback on the lab while you're going through it, let me know.
Okay, we'll do.
Awesome. Thanks. See ya.